Yeah, Kalpesh, go ahead, please. Over to you.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. So today we have the session 4 on advanced validation rules and flows introduction. So Smita, would you like to get started?
Yes, yes, Kalpish. Welcome all for Admin Series Session 4. Today's speakers, uh, today's speakers are Purnima Y. She is a Salesforce administrator. Kalpesh Virud, certified technical lead and architect, and Chandan S, senior Salesforce developer. Feel free to connect with the speakers on LinkedIn. Admin team members, myself, Smita, moderator, and Janil is also a moderator. So recap of session 3, we had reviewed the Salesforce data modeling basics, choosing appropriate field types, creating a data model in the demo session, implementing master detailed relationships and junction object, and we had reviewed object usage of schema builder. Then we had seen formula fields and roll-up summary examples, field basics of validation rules. So if you all have any query regarding this, you can post it in chat or ask by raising hand. Also, we had given some assignments. So if you all have any queries in the assignment, you can ask it right now. Over to you, Kalpesh.
Sure. Thanks, Smita, for a brief recap on the session 3. So yes, guys. So today we will discuss on the Salesforce advanced validation rules. When I say advanced, what we have looked at in the previous session was just the basics, and now today we will jump into the some little more advanced use case scenarios. Okay. So next slide is this one. Yeah. So when we are actually working in the company, we have the different use cases like pick list values, then let's say status changes from new to in progress, then what should happen? That is can be controlled through the prior value. So some of the pick list values we use a prior value concept, okay? And it's basically the definition is previous value of the field before the current update. So depending on the previous value, whatever is changes is going to happen to the next update. If you have to validate that, let's say opportunity is in the first stage and some fields are not completed, then you should throw the error using prior value use case, okay? Second is change. That is basically evaluates the previous and current values of the field. Change is basically, let's say, if you use in progress to development and development to deployment status change, then what status will be changing. So you can use change for that, right? Is new is next one, which is the validate here for the creation or updation of records. So yeah, I think it's creation of records, Smita. So yeah, is new we use for the, if new record is coming, then we use that. So during creation of the record, if we have to throw some validation rules, then we use the is new function. Is blank is example, support plan expiration date is required when the account is marked as having a support plan. Then let's say if you don't populate the expression date, then it will throw the error. Like if the date is blank, then you throw the error. And eSpeak wall is example when the stage is close loss and the close reason is required. So if you say opportunity went to close loss, but the close reason is not given why it is close loss, then you should throw the error using eSpeak wall. Okay. So these are some of them. There are more, and we can definitely share the assignment having all those possible use cases. Okay, so one of our mentors, Chandan, has prepared that. So we will definitely walk you through that on that one. Okay, one sec. So that was. Okay, so this is one of the project where we can see like validation rules and flows is the next topic will be explained by Purnima. So let's look at the validation rules. Before I jump into demo, I just wanted to walk you through the assignment example. Like it will validate the data while creating the records, and it will also validate the field changes during the record updates. You can use isNew, isChange prior value, filter the validation rules based on the record type, allow the system administrator to bypass the validation rules. Now you might have a question like why you are bypassing if you are creating the rules. System admin users are required to bypass because they are executing the processes in the backend. And let's say if there is an integration user, which may not be a human user, but he's running the process, then he may not have to go through the validation rules. Only the human resources, those who are entering the data or modifying it, they need to make sure they are going through the validations for the data accuracy purposes. Then we have the before say flow, auto-populate, and on. Yeah, this is flow related. So you can go through these objects. I think we created some of them in the previous session, course, student, and department. And then you see how this validation rule assignments are executed, okay? If you have any questions, you can post it in the chat in this meeting, and we will start with demo, okay? So they have explained here validation rule. Student email is required on create. For example, on create means is new, and if the is blank email, that means if email is empty and its creation, then you should throw an error. Student email is required when creating a new student. And it is bypassing when it says like this sign, that means not equal to. If profile is other than system admin, then only it should throw the error, okay? Location email and how to test it is given here, okay? These are the steps. So this in this particular rule, we are using is new, is blank, two different functions. Expected result should be student record should not be saved like this. There is a second assignment, third assignment. You can go through that, and we will share this document in the Slack. Okay, so let's go back to our slides. And okay, so we'll start with advanced validation rule demos. Okay, so let me pull up the rule. Yeah, this one is good. Okay, so let's look at it. So I have created a rule in the backend before the session. Sorry, Chandan has created. And then if you want me to walk you through how to create it, is just basically go here in Object Manager. Then go to the object for which you wanted to create a rule. In this example, we are creating the rule for account object. Then here on the left-hand side, you will see an option at the bottom somewhere, validation rules. So these are here, different rules are there. So you click on new. And when you give here name, you can say like prevent type change after customer. So basically what we are trying to do, type is a picklist value, has one of the value as a customer. if prior value of this type field is a customer, and if type is changed and it's not new record, it's an update, then you should throw this error like account type cannot be changed once it is customer. So basically we are freezing that type value. So once the account type is already customer, user should not change it to another value. This description, that means you're not allowed to change it. And this rule will be allowed to change only to the users who has a special permissions like bypass validation rules. So some cases admins will also have the restrictions. System admins, now they will be restricted only through the bypass validation rules, because if this permission is not granted to that admin also, he will also has to go through this validation. So what is this permission? Like if you see here, $permission dot bypass validation rule is basically the custom permissions in the backend. So you go to setup, and we will go through the security controls and custom permissions in detail in different session, but I'm just showing you how it is configured here. So when you search here in quick find custom permissions, you will see here bypass validation rules. Okay, so this is just a permission which we have created, and we can assign this to the users, allow selected users to bypass it. Okay, so that's how it is. Now if you go to the account, if you want to test it out, you can go to account. Yes, Chandan, you can unmute if you want to speak about it.
Yeah, so we had a question like when to use validation rule on the flow, right? So the validation rules are like, a direct way. So directly field level check before saving the record. Let's imagine like we have a student record and email is a blank. So in that period, we will use a validation rule. Similarly, flow is something that we need to achieve a complex logic, needs an automation or a more complex check. So at that moment, we will use a flow. Like for example, if we have a multiple, if we need to have an logic where we need to use multiple records or multiple objects and update a different object record or related record, at that moment we'll use a flow. So we will cover up, we will explain you why flows are used. In the next topic is somewhat we'll be explaining on the rules by Purnima. This is what I would like to say.
Okay. Yeah. So let's look at it how it works. Like you can see the type pickless value has, these are the values, right? They have customer direct, customer channel. I think we have used the customer only. Let's update the rule. Okay. Okay, no errors found. You save this. Okay. Cancel this. Now see here. This is one of the account, sample account in this org where you already have the type set up as customer direct. Now, if you, that means you're saying that you should freeze at this value, and if you try to change it to prospect again, it should throw error. So let's see, it throws the error, account type cannot be changed once it is marked as customer. That's how it works, because it's looking at the prior value. Prior value was customer direct. Okay, that's how it is. And let's look at the other use case for the same rule. Let's say Burlington, it has, okay, it also has the same thing. I wanted to show you it is, okay, here, these two are good ones. Customer channel is also okay. So this one is the customer channel value. Now, in this case, if I try to change it to, let's say, channel partner, do you think this rule will fire? Prior value was customer channel. In this case, it will not fire. Let's test it out because we are restricting only at customer direct. Okay, so let's change it to channel partner and save this. It is allowing me to save. So specific rule fires based on what we set up in the backend. Okay, it's only applicable to customer direct. So that's a prior value. Okay. Next rule is, let me remove this. We have one more example, similar concept, but little different way is blank, okay? So here in this case, rating change reason required. So if you change the value of rating is change rating field, and it's not a new record, that means it's an update. And if the reason is blank, you should throw the error rating changes, reason is field is required. Okay. So that's how it is. You can test it out also, you can try it out. You will, in your assignment, you will have multiple different use cases. So here is a is change for the assignment too. This is the phone number required. So it's a different use case, but you can test it out using this rule. Okay. And the next one we have account phone number required on create. So here, when you say is new, that means it's going to fire only on new records. So when you're creating a new account and the phone number is empty, it says phone number is required when creating a new account. Okay. Certainly, you can bypass this through other special users. Okay. So that's how it is. So let's look at. So we have covered prior value, is change, is new, is blank, and is pick wall. Okay. So that's about the advanced validation rules. If you have any questions, please feel free to post it in the chat or in the Slack after the session or during the session. That's totally fine. I'll hand it over to the Purnima. Would you like to get started from here? I can continue presenting.
Sure. Yeah, Kalpesh. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Purnima. So today we will go ahead on understanding what flows are and how many different types of flows are there for us in the system. So generally in Salesforce, there is a basic norm that says that before we go ahead and code something, we have to go ahead with the clicks first, like clicks, then we code it. So it refers to the core platform philosophy where we would be using most of the declarative tools before going ahead with our programmatic tools, that is writing lots of lines of codes. So flows come in under the declarative tools, so which maximizes the maintainability, scalability, and it's also cost effective. And so we should first look for options in using the declarative tools before going ahead to achieve the requirement using the programmatic ones. So first, as I have mentioned, declarative means there are many types of declarative tools for us, which are basically the automation tools like Flow. Previously, we used to have workflows, process builders, which are retired already. So the major primary source of tool for us would be the Flow Builder, that is using of flows. Then we have formulas, where we can use in the custom fields, validation rules, as Kalpesh was explaining before, and even using the approval process to go ahead with following the process of approvals and rejections. And then declarative security, like setting up profiles, permission sets, sharing rules, record level access, etc. And if still our like our logic is not getting worked out, or we are not able to achieve the required logic for us, then we go ahead with the programmatic tools. Then which would include the complex integrations, heavy bulk processing of data, and record manipulations, and using highly customized user interfaces. So in programmatic, we have Apex, Lightning Web Components, and like Apex is the proprietary strongly typed backend programming language, where we will use complex triggers, REST APIs, and asynchronous background jobs. And LWC, you can consider it as a standard HTML, JavaScript, and CSS combination of all these to build custom user interfaces and components. So today we'll go ahead and learn about flows, which helps us automate a business process by collecting data and also using the data to make multiple things happen. So first, you can consider flow. You can imagine flow to be similar to flow charts. Like they are made up of different kinds of boxes, diamond shape, which are where we would be using arrows to connect each other, and which depicts a detailed process of business. But there is one major difference here, like the flow charts, they just show us the process, whereas flows can actually help us in achieving that process. So there are multiple different types of flows, which I would be showing ahead. And we do have, basically the flow is a drag and drop feature. So let's, can I share my screen, Kalpesh? I just want to log into Salesforce and show ahead.
Yeah, sure. Let me stop sharing.
Yep, sure. But I'm not allowed to share. It's saying that I'm not allowed to share my screen.
One second. Surinderji, could you please make her host?
Yeah.
Yep, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, please try now.
Yes, yes. I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Yep. So basically, navigation to the flow can be done in two ways. Like this is the app launcher, as all of you would be aware. So from here, we can type as automation, and from this screen, you can navigate into the automation page, where you will be coming up ahead with the flows. So if you click on new here, it will create a new flow screen window for you. Otherwise, from setup, you can even try typing flow in the quick find box here, which again would be under the process automations. This also will navigate you to lets you create the new flow window for you. So now if you see, this is, once you click on new flow, this would be the page that pops up. Here, if you see, there are multiple kinds of flows for us, like trigger automations, screen flows, record trigger flow, schedule triggered flow, auto launched flow, and there are multiple other options also, which will help us in creating different kinds of flows, which can be used for different kinds of operations. So for example, screen flow, let's go ahead with the screen flow. So screen flow is nothing but it's an interaction that allows us to feed in the input to that screen, which will allow us to take inputs from our end users. Like you can just think it as a login page where you give in your details, username, password, and you log into your bank account. So it's similar to that kind of a screen flow, which we would be creating here. Record triggered flow would be launched whenever we are creating a new record, like whenever a record is getting created, we are making some updates onto that, and we are even performing some deletes. So this is an auto launched flow which runs in the background while we are manipulating the data on the record level. Schedule triggered flows, we use these kinds of flow where we create automations that run at a particular time and frequency we mention. So it's launched at particular time frame, and it processes records in batch. And we have got platform event triggered flows also, which we use for creating automations that run whenever a platform event is getting triggered. And auto launched flow, gets launched whenever we are using Apex. Like via Apex, we are trying to use this to trying to run a flow which processes huge amount of data. We are using REST APIs and more. So these auto launched flows will get invoked whenever our programs would be calling that this flow. That is the auto launched flow from Apex or REST APIs. So for today, we'll be going ahead with the screen flows. So basically, once we click on screen flow, this would be the window that pops up. So here we have got multiple options. If you see, we have this toolbox where you will be able to create multiple new resources. Like if you are taking some input from the user, so you can create variable, you can create a constant value that can be passed throughout the flow, but which cannot be changed at end. And you can even create formulas. You have text templates that stores text values that can be changed throughout the flow. We have choices, collection choice set, record choice set. There are multiple resource types here which we can create, and you would be learning going forward what these resources can be used for in your next level of classes. And if you see, we have got auto layout and a freeform layout. So auto layout is like, for example, if I'm trying to add one screen here, there would be a connection that gets generated from my start flow to the screen flow which I'm creating. But if you are creating a free form, then you have to ensure that you are making a connection between the screen flow and the screen that you're going to create. Like you have to drag and drop the connectors in between each one to ensure that you are following the path that needs to be followed there. So generally, we would be going ahead with the auto layout. So let me just create one more thing. Flows have three major building blocks that is called as, one is called as element, the other one is called as connectors, and the third one is the resources. So elements are nothing but the nodes on the canvases that makes things happen. Like, for example, we are trying to add a screen flow action. We are trying to add an action. We are trying to add a logic. Like these are the logic elements here. That is assignment, decision, loop, transform. So whenever you are trying to add an element, that would appear on your screen. So these are called as elements. And we have got connectors, like this is the connector in between my screen flow, that is the start and the end of the flow. So this is the connector in between here. And we have got resources. So we would be creating resources from our toolbox. Am I clear till here? Any questions? Okay, so let's go ahead and try to just demo one small screen flow here. Since we are trying to demo on the screen flow, so I would be going ahead and clicking on the screen here where we have got different components. So for screen flow, we have got different input actions that can be used. If you see, we have got action button, we have got address, we have got check boxes, we have got radio boxes, date, time, everything we have got here. So just I want to demo on student. So I'll just use a text here. So before doing that, I want to label my screen flow. So I'll say enroll student, which will accept the input from the user, which he keys in, and it goes ahead and inserts that record into the system. So my screen flow is called as enroll student. Now I'm going to add, I'm going to add student name. And if you see, if I just give the label name, the API name just gets auto-populated. Here we have got different options. If you want to make this as a required field, you can mark this checkbox here saying that it is required, it is read-only. It can be even marked as disabled. If you mark it as disabled and set it to set the value for this, it will not be appearing in the screen. So the default value also can be set. Like if I want to have a default value, someone has.
Please continue.
Okay, yeah. So sorry, here. So if I want to have some default value set for a particular student name, like it will not be a default value, but for example, if I want to set a default value, I can use this field and set a default value to my to that particular value. Next, I'll try to add student ID. here, and the API name gets auto-populated. So first we'll go ahead with these two. So I have created a screen flow which says that we have got the enrolled student, which captures student name and student ID for me. Then once I have captured the information from the user, I have to ensure that I'm saving that information into my system, into Salesforce. So for that, generally, I would be using the data record element here. Like I want to insert that value. So I would be using the create record element here. If I have to update, I'll go ahead with update. And for get records is for reading the records from Salesforce. Like for example, if I have account screen before coming to the enroll student screen. So from account, I'm navigating to student. So I have to ensure that I'm getting the account ID, account name into my data here, so that I can use that and use that information to go ahead and update or ensure that I'm having that information, account ID, account name, when I'm creating the student record. So I'll use get records when I'm doing that. And delete is for deleting records. So rollback and all, you'll be going forward, you'll understand what is rollback and all. It's generally for rolling back everything. So first I'll go ahead and create a record here. So I'll say create student record. And you can give a description here. So I'll manually set the object and manually update the record values manually. So object would be the student. So first here, I'm going to take the student name. So since if you see, once I have created the name, selected the name, you can see the screen value that is popping up here. Since I have already accepted the input from the user using the screen enroll student, I will be using that enroll student dot student name. So it's just that you will be using your click and feature to ensure that you are providing a value, you are assigning a value to that student name. So now I'll select student age. So I'll go ahead. Okay, let me try saving it. Might be some issue here. I'll just save it. Student enroll screen flow. And description, you can give the description also. Enroll the student and save it. Yeah. Let me delete it and then let me come back. Yeah. 1 second. Yeah. So now let me try adding the student ID. Sorry, I have selected student ID here. So I will be selecting. Let me check 1 second. I was working on something else before. I have got name and age. Okay, so let me edit it. Done. Student age. Oh, it is not coming. Okay, let me delete it.
Can you refresh your screen?
Yes, that's what I'm just trying to save it before I refresh, because it might not get saved. So student age, yeah, but still I'm not able to get it.
The data type, that is text, and the data type mismatch is there. Can you check in the object? Can you check in the object?
Yes,
It's
yes.
text, and in the object
Yeah,
it is
it's a number. So let me
number.
create a number. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Let me delete it here. And I'll create a number. Student age. Yeah, so now I should be able to. Yep, so if you see, thank you so much for that. Yeah, student age.
Yeah.
So now I have populated my student age also using the screen value that I would be populating. And let me first save this. And if you see, we on the panel, we have got multiple options here, saying run, debug, save as new version, activate. So run is for seeing, like, if you want to test your, before activation, if you want to see whether your, whatever you have created, whether your ScreenFlow is running properly or not, you can go ahead and click on the option of run, which will help you to understand whether the data is getting populated properly, whether your screen is appearing in the way you intended to. So you can use that run option here. Debug, I'll just go ahead and first we will activate it and then run, and I'll debug the ScreenFlow for you and show the values. And if you want to create a new version of your flow, as I have did now, like my version was version 1 previously, but since I had this mismatch of data, I just created another version and then I refreshed the screen, and it will let you create a new version of the same flow, but you can also create it as a new flow here. And once you activate your flow, you will have option to deactivate it also. So first, let us try to activate it.
So just to add, a new version
Yes,
is
yes.
created after the previous version is activated, right?
No, I
Now-
didn't activate the previous version. So if you see, the version was inactive.
It was I think you activated. Let it be.
Yeah,
We'll
it
discuss
was
it.
inactive. Yeah. So you want me to deactivate it once to see?
No, let it look. Go ahead. We'll discuss later.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So now, yeah, let me try running the ScreenFlow. So I'll say student 1, and age is 20 years. I'll just click do on next. So it's popping up. So let's go ahead and check whether the data has been generated here. Yeah, if you see, when I ran the flow, I have given the input as student 1. So it just created the record for me. So student 1 got created and the student age has been updated in Salesforce for me. So this is the basic processing of my ScreenFlow, which I have created. Now let me say I want to debug it. See what values are getting passed when I'm trying to run this ScreenFlow. So let us say run the latest version. I'll just try to run. So if you see, when I'm trying to debug, so basically debug will help you understand where you are facing certain issues in your logic. Like if you are getting some error, you're not understanding what that error is, then in that scenario you can debug the flows and you can understand what is happening. So let me say I'll try to create one more record saying student 2. I'll give 40 as age, and if I just do a next, you can see on the left hand side that the interview process has started. Like it just gives you the complete information of what is happening in your flow. So the API version of the flow in which it is running, what is my version ID, when it has started. So if you come to the screen enrollment student screen here, you can see the data type that has populated and the values that I'm trying to give here. So value at runtime, it is called as student, and the age of the student which I'm trying to insert, so 40, and it comes to the next processing stage, that is creation of records. So here I'm trying to create a new record here. So it gives you the complete information, like saying like this is the student name, this is the student age, and the record is ready to be processed when the next screen is clicked or when I'm trying to do a save in the system. So this is how the debug functionality, this is just a basic level of ScreenFlow, how the basic functionality works here. And it also gives you the information if, let us say, you are not able to save the record, there is some error, it even throws that error for you here. Then how the interview has finished. So this is basically how we are trying to go ahead with our ScreenFlow. Do anyone of you have any questions still here? Okay, so next level, we can even go ahead adding multiple changes to our ScreenFlow. Like you can create multiple student fields here, create multiple relationships, and then go ahead and try to have some lookup value populated for the screen, saying that, let us say from account page, I want to have a button which will navigate me into the next screen of, which will help me in navigating it to the next screen, saying that where my enroll screen pops up in between, and I give the data there and it finishes. So we can even go ahead and
Purnima,
create
sorry
that
to
kind of thing. Yes, please.
can you go a bit slower speed?
Yeah, sure. You want me to repeat it?
Priyanshu, are you
Okay.
able to get it?
Yeah, sure. You want me to repeat it from the start of the process?
Priyanshu, can you unmute yourself and tell? Yes. Yes, saying yes.
Okay, from start. Okay.
It was
So
a bit fast.
Oh, okay. So, okay. So let me start from from the start of this. So basically, this is the screen flow which I'm trying to create, where I would have a screen that populates with certain amount of fields for me. Like in this scenario, I have just taken the example of student name and age of the student. I will be accepting the input from the user in the form of a screen where the user keys in the data, and I will try to save that information in Salesforce by creating a record, by creating it as a record. So basically, screen flow, we have got multiple elements here. Like under interactions, we have got screen flow, we have got action, we have got subflow. Like subflows are nothing but it allows you to call another flow from this flow. From this screen flow, it allows you to call some another flow, which would be called as a subflow. Action, using action, you can perform actions like sending emails, etc. But in this scenario, we would be using a screen flow. So this is the screen flow that I am creating. And in the screen flow, we have got multiple components which I can use here, like action button, address, date time, checkbox, radio button, currency, etc. If you see, we have got around 72 or 72 input values, and we have even got display text of 4. Like display text, I can even display a message, a repeater, and a section. So there are total of 76 components which I can use in a screen flow to populate the data, to accept the input and process it further. Am I clear till here? Okay. So in this screen flow, I'm basically taking only 2 inputs from the user, that is the student name and student age. So I have taken student name as a text field and student age as a number. So since it would be a number basically. So we have got multiple options here, which will help us going forward. You will be able to understand it more, like when I make it as a required field, whether it would be a read only, whether it would be a disabled field, we'll be understanding going forward. But in this demo, we would be just going ahead with the student name and student age. So next, once I have collected the information from the user, like the user has get in the student name and student age for me, then I want to insert that 2 information into Salesforce as a record. So for that, I have to use the create student record, that is create record element here. I am using the create record element here. And for this demo, I am setting the value manually because I am accepting the value from the screen. So I want to use that value and set it manually from my end to insert that record in Salesforce. So I have to select how we are doing that. I'm selecting it manually and create a record for which object I am inserting it. I am inserting it for the student object. So I'm giving the object name here and I'm trying to set the values here. Like student name and student age are the fields for me. So for student name, I am accepting it from the enroll student screen. So I am taking the student name from the enroll student screen, and I am taking the student age from the enroll student age field. Am I clear till here? Any questions for anyone? Okay, so with this, there is no need for me to write a insert record, like insert this data into system explicitly. Using create record itself will allow me to insert that particular record into Salesforce. So now if I go ahead and click on run, this is the screen flow that I am creating, student name and student age. So I am trying to accept one input here. Student age, let me say 50. I'm giving the student name as student 3 and age as 50. And for now, just assume that this next button is something called as save for me. Okay, I'm clicking on this button and my data has been inserted. So going forward, we can even enhance the screen saying that once we click on save button here, like we can explicitly rename or create one button here called as save by removing this. Then once I click on save, I can even pop up a message saying that my record student 3 has been inserted, which will help you understand that that particular record got inserted in Salesforce. So now if I go to the student object, and if I just refresh my screen here, we inserted a student 3 record. So if you see whatever record I have inserted, which the user, like I have provided to the system, that got inserted here now. Any questions or any sort of confusion?
Purnima, they want to see the message demo.
Sorry?
Success message. They want to see the success message demo after the record is getting created.
Okay. Okay, let's do that. Yeah. So now,
I think you need to add screen after the create
yes,
record. Right?
yes, I'm doing that. Yeah.
So what we are doing here, just success message, right? Just
Yes.
add another screen and that should work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
display
here we
text.
can use the display
Yes.
Display text, drag and drop. Yeah. Let's say success message. APNM with underscore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Sorry, shit, sorry.
No, here, yeah. And just give message as record got created.
Record inserted. Record
Inserted successfully. Yeah.
inserted successfully. LY.
Done. Okay, go up.
Yeah, I have to
Yeah.
give the label name.
Screen name got to be success. Screen.
Success message.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me say success message, because already I have given the name here. So it was giving me an error message here. So yeah, let me try saving it as new version.
Yeah. So once you activate the screen any flow, right? Whenever you create a new version, whenever you make changes, so it will save as a new version for
New
you.
version. Yeah.
And
So
that
now-
will be inactive
please
by
go.
default, and you need to activate it.
Yeah.
The
So
new
now
version.
the previous version was 2, which is still active, and my new version is version 3, which is inactive. So until and unless I activate this, this won't be like we will not be able to see the changes that we are making in this screen. So now I'll just click on activate, and let me try to run it. Student 4. Let me say 4, and age I'll say 10. Clicking on next. So if you see, this is the success measure saying record inserted successfully, and I can click on finish to finish that particular flow and go ahead and come back again to another screen where I can give another input, like I can collect one more input from the screen and insert that again. So let's try to refresh here in our screen console. Yeah. So 10 with student 4 has been inserted. So any questions here?
Purnima, I would like to add something. So
Sure, please.
whenever we are developing, go back to your flow screen.
Yeah, 1 second.
Development. Yeah. So instead of creating a new version and activating and then running it, you have the debug option. So as long as you're making the small changes and testing for yourself, or is it working? You can keep debugging it. And once it's working successfully, then you create it, save as new version,
Yes.
and then activate. So that
Activate.
steps will get saved.
Yeah, instead of creating multiple versions of
Yeah,
flows
exactly. You can
Exactly,
stick to
yeah.
one version and then. And
Yes.
also, you remember your version V3, for example, and tomorrow another developer comes in and he wants to modify the same flow, but your story is not in UAT yet. You can
Yes.
tell him, save as new version, work on V4, my changes are in V3, and we can merge together later on. Something you can collaborate based on the versions.
Exactly, yeah.
Chandan, would you like to add something, or we're good?
Yeah, we are good. We are good actually. So we have one more question from the attendee saying that it can be like, show record ID instead of showing a hard code message. Yes, it can be done. So the thing is like we need to create an resource field and store that field value, whatever the ID that we create over there. That
As a
works.
variable.
Yes.
Yeah, another use case is now when you click finish on from the success message, you continue get an again pop up as a new student page, right? Instead of you can redirect to the same record which you just created. So let's say student 5 is created. Instead of going back and searching for the student 5 record, it's created on the you can automatically redirect to that record. For that, we need to do the navigation step. We can go through that also in next session. This is just a basic session for now. Or you can go to Trailheads and you will learn more in Trailheads also. Any questions, please do not hesitate to ask the questions. Yeah. From flows, screen flow is very basic. Next session's record triggered and the scheduled flows little complex or advanced, we can say, not complex, but yeah, we can go through that. Screen flow are very easy.
Yes, Pawan.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, if I want to change like student name in the flow, so can I change after that activate?
Yeah, you
Or-
can. You can say student first name, student last name, or something. But you can save as new version, and then it will activate, and then it will show that.
Okay. Fine, sir. Fine. Thank you.
Any other questions? I think Smita already shared the Trailheads. Do you have any additional Trailhead links on validation rules? Can you share that one also? We have the slide also. I can show you quickly. Can you see my screen? Yeah, so these are the Trailheads we have. Couple of them are validation rule, other two are screen flows. So just go through them and try to test it out. So yeah, that's what we have covering today. Yeah. Any other questions or any other feedback, please do not hesitate to post it on the Slack channel. We will try to address it as soon as possible. Smita, Janil, if you have anything to add, please go ahead and talk about it. I think Janil is traveling today. He's not there, but I guess Smita, if you have anything, you can talk about it, or Surinderji.
Good from my end.
Okay. Okay, thanks everyone. So I think,
Shefali wanted to add something.
sure, yeah.
I'll stop the recording. The session is over, right?
Yeah, session is complete for today.
I'll stop the recording.